Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda, and today we're in the Backbeat Bar just above the Rock Shop talking to Superturtle. And with us is Darren McShane of the band. Welcome, Darren.
Hello.
So yeah, we're kind of out on the road today. It's very exciting. It's a nice little venue just up on K Road. So Superturtle, tell me about you guys. There's 5 of you here today, it looks like.
Yep. We've been around since 2008. Done 3 albums, got a 4th one mixed and ready to go.
Yep.
And
does it have a title? Yep.
Might be called Student Flat Reunion. Thought I might call it Board.
Right.
With an E at the end. Few options. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Tossing them around.
Very good. And is there kind of an overarching, how would you describe what you guys sound like or what you do?
Post-punk, new wave, indie.
Yeah.
Just that.
I sensed a bit of like Devo kind of post-punk thing going.
Yeah.
Is there
I love that sort of 78 to 82 era.
Right.
And all the modern bands I listen to are probably influenced by that era anyway. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So the new album, you record it yourself. You guys are all kind of self-contained.
Yeah.
And you do most of the engineering and
production
as well.
I have an analog studio in Birkenhead. I've had that for 20 odd years, so that's all. It's quite well set up.
So you mentioned to me earlier you have like 2-inch tape machines.
Yeah, got Cat Stevens old tape machine, and then I've got a spare parts 2-inch as well, and that's Brian Ferry's old one.
And how do you know that was where they came from?
Well, those sort of machines, I don't know how many there are in the country, the 2-inch tape machines. There's not probably a dozen or so.
Right.
And you tend to like. The Cat Stevens one was brought over by the bass player Bruce.
I know who you mean.
I've
Yes,
got a blank on the surname.
Yeah.
His wife was the singer Suzanne.
Yes.
You know who I mean?
I do. I
should remember because I'll be embarrassed.
We'll remember as soon as the cameras stop.
He got given it when Cat Stevens became a Muslim.
Right.
He gifted stuff to the band members when he disbanded the band, and so he came back with the tape machine. That's how it ended up here. Then York Street brought it, and then I brought it off them.
Are they hard to maintain?
Not really. Every year or two something might go wrong.
Right.
But they're sort of made to be serviced. You pull out the things, all the boards are separate, and you can swap around the boards to troubleshoot.
And is it easy to get tape?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
They still make tape. There's an American company that's too expensive, so only Americans use it. And then there's a plant that moves around. It's in France at the moment.
Right.
It was the old BASF machinery from Germany, and then it went to the Netherlands, and then it went to France.
Ah, I see.
But you have to get it via Australia.
Of course.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all easy.
But you do that because you like the analog
like the sound.
Yeah.
I like the process too. I'm not a big person on looping and cutting and pasting. I like the idea of getting a good performance. So I like to track live and just overdub vocals and a few tasty bits, but do an essential band, get that energy.
All right.
And it's good for vetting clients, because when I tell clients that if they can't play all the time, we'll sing in tune, and then I'll just tell them, oh no, you should go to somewhere else, you know.
Right.
So I don't have to put up with that sort of thing. It's great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So before we hear the first song, maybe you can tell me who else is in the band.
Is Murray, who's the keyboards player and guitarist.
Right.
He's a multi-instrumentalist, basically. Adrian on bass, Aletta on backing vocals, or co-vocals, and Ty on drums.
Ty on drums.
Yep.
Very good. And you guys have been together in this form for?
Murray's been on board right from the start.
Yep.
And Adrian's on the last album. So it's been a few years, Adrian?
Yeah. All right.
They've got a very settled lineup now.
Cool. And the first song we're going to hear is one called Book Club.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that?
Occasionally I like writing little fictional lyrics, like stories. That's just one of those. It's pretty simple concept about someone talking about the book club, and I've never been to a book club. It's a pure flight of fancy, but it's I like the imagery in it. You know, it's got lines like eating the asparagus rolls at the book club and standing by the fireplace at the book club.
Sounds
Just,
cozy.
just a little story.
Very good. All right, well, let's give it a listen. We'll come back and talk some more.
Nice.
You give it to me, a book of the ages. It leaves you wanting more and more. You lent it to me, I'm turning the pages. I can see what you wanted it for. A bit of the story, a bit of the fact, a bit of philosophy, and there's nothing going wrong with that. Yeah. You give it to me, I kept it for ages. It leaves you wanting more and more. You lent it to me, I read it in stages. I can see what you wanted it for. A bit of the story, a bit of the fact, a bit of philosophy, and there's nothing going wrong with that. Yeah. Just like meeting people at the book club. I don't really read that much at the book club. Like eating the asparagus rolls at the book club. Like standing by the fireplace at the book club.
Okay, you're at the 13th floor. We're here with Superturtle in the Backbeat Bar on K Road, and we're talking to Darren McShane. So we're hearing new music that you guys haven't released yet, except for the one single, which we're going to hear a little bit later. But the next song is another one that's new called Who Put the Knives On. So the recording process, are you kind of running the show, or is it a more collaborative thing when you're actually in the studio and you're rolling that 2-inch tape? What happens?
The musical side of things is definitely collaborative.
Yeah.
We jam the songs in the practice room. It's very unusual for me to turn up with a song. We tend to jam, and then I'll jam out the vocals, which is really the same process as an acoustic guitarist. I think it's just you've got a band with you instead. Mm-hmm. So I've found a crew that can jam. That's really important, because if you want to write that way, you've got to have the guys that can do it. So that's what we do. And with recording, we track it live, because we make sure a song's totally nailed before we record. We do a rough pre-production recording.
Right.
Just to, sometimes things sound different when you hear it back, and that bit you thought was good isn't good. And normally it's something that's complicated doesn't sound that good, and that simple little riff you did once is the hook. So you often end up actually simplifying things after that sort of pre-production recording process. And so we're good to go at the studio. We just track live, overdub vocals. And as far as overdubs go, they tend to be little sonic stabs, sound effects maybe. It's pretty much sticks to the live.
Right. And do you have a sound, because you mentioned that you kind of like the late 70s, early 80s kind of new wavy thing. There's a specific sound associated with that, like with the drums and things like that, but that was because of the technology at the time. Things have moved on since then, so are you...
Well, I probably used technology from that era.
Right.
You know, there's no digital manipulation going on. All the recording devices, tape, console, it's all rack gear.
Right.
So you've got to get the source sound right. You know, your live sound, you're not going to post manipulate it. So you've got to play in time, sing in tune, etc.
Man, that's
you
tough.
know, yeah, that's how it should be. I like that idea.
It's nice. Yeah. And live, how does is it pretty much easy to recreate what you're doing live?
Yeah,
I would imagine,
because
right?
we do work that way. It's very easy for us to
And you guys
play live.
gig
We
quite a
enjoy
bit?
playing live. About every 2 or 3 months, just because if you gig more than that, your crowd can diminish. You know,
Right.
you can't expect your friends and friends of friends to keep turning up if it's not a treat. So, but we really enjoy playing live, and we've had a really good couple of years of. We haven't had it's a long time since we've had a fizzer gig.
Right.
So on a grassroots level, we're kicking it.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. Now you're going to go away, and we're going to talk to Adrian in a minute because
Yep.
he did the video. But before that, just tell me about who put the knives on.
That's a bit like the book club in that it's just a little scene in my head of an old flat many years ago where we would have a gas oven with knives on it, and the radio was on, and somebody said, "Who put that crap on?" So that was the trigger.
Right.
A party in an old student flat, and then I embellished it a bit. That was basically. Although lyrically, it's got a lot of repetition. That song, as you'll hear.
Yeah.
On the
very
recording,
fast.
I did do a bit of production on that. I did a robo voice on some of the
right.
repetitive bits, a vocoder.
Oh, we'll have to
Yeah,
wait and hear
bit of
that.
production.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks, Marty.
We'll get Adrian in here in a second, but in the meantime, we'll listen to Who Put the Knives On.
Who put that crap on? 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 DJ selector, program director. That's where the spot was. 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 Gaslight detector. DJ selector. Who put the knives on? Who put the knives on? Who put the knives on? Who put the... Who put the knives on? Who put the knives on? Who put the knives on? Who put the...
All right, we're back here with Superturtle, and we have the bass player Adrian Ashdown with us. And the reason we're talking to the bass player, usually we don't talk to bass players because nobody wants to talk to bass players, right? They're quiet. You got to kind of keep an eye on them. But you also cut the video for The Industry, which is the single that you guys have just put out. And it's a pretty cool video.
Thanks.
And hopefully I'll roll some of the video while we're talking so that people can get an idea of what it's about. But for people who haven't seen it, what is the concept behind it?
So the concept was really, well, the song is called The Industry, right? So it's
Right.
referring to the
Music industry.
music industry. So when I was bouncing around ideas, I kind of thought, well, if you're getting into an industry, you know, what are the kind of things that you need to know? So it's sort of a
Kind
play.
of a manual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a play on how you might put a rock band together or not.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of lyric driven or verbally driven. How would you explain visually what you've done?
So I used a piece of software called Sparkle, which is, I don't know if you might have seen those videos on YouTube, which are sort of like whiteboard videos, so they had to draw things and etc. And I thought that might be a cool medium to use for the video. So I thought tying it into the idea of it being an instructional video, kind of put it all together, and it was kind of a bit of a see what happens sort of situation, and it turned out okay, I think.
Well, you had the lyrics to kind of lead you through
Yeah,
it, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Did it take a long time to put something like that together?
The initial sort of thought gathering process took about 3 or 4 months.
Right.
And then when Darren said, hey, we've got the release gig on this date, which was maybe 6 weeks before the finish the video,
Yeah.
they kind of put the accelerator on a little bit.
It helps to have a deadline.
Yeah,
doesn't it? Yeah. Are you a video editor by trade or anything?
No, actually, I work for Vodafone.
Excellent. Did you do a lot of this while you were working at Vodafone?
No, I kind of keep my creative life and my work life very separate.
Very good. But it looks like it's a lot. Have you had much reaction to it? Have people kind of gotten back to you
there's
about it?
been some really good comments. The comment I hear the most is Adrian probably did that,
Yeah.
being the bass player, because if you see the video, you'll
Yes,
probably see why, yeah.
Glorifies the
Yeah.
bass player
Exactly,
as
yeah.
well as should. I
Yeah.
used to play bass myself.
there you go.
Barely, but just enough to say that I did. So yes. And what did the rest of the band think of it? Did you kind of have to run everything by them first, or were they cool?
No, I didn't have to run it by them, but I did give them a bit of time to kind of come back with any questions and edits, but no, they sort of passed, so it is what it is.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I enjoyed it thoroughly every time I watch it, so good job there. And the song itself is kind of self-explanatory,
Yeah.
when you say, so we don't really have to talk much more about it.
No problem.
So we'll look for the record, whatever title it ends up being, in the next few months or so.
Yeah.
And hopefully see you guys out on the road and in the clubs, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Thanks.
Okay.
It's who you know, not what you know in the industry. The old school tie, it's getting you by, how that's the industry. What can you do when nothing rings true in the industry? It's who you know, not what you know in the industry. Here we go now. Here we go now. It's quite a show now. Here we go now. It's quite a show now. It's who you know, not what you know in the industry. These four walls are squeezing my balls, hell that's the industry. What can you do when it all falls through in the industry? It's who you know, not what you know in the industry. Here we go now. Here we go now. It's quite a show now. Here we go now. It's quite a show now.